Hi friends, welcome back. We're going to do a quick refresh on factor by grouping. Factor by grouping. So let's take a look at our first example here. Factor by grouping works when you have four terms. And the way that I like to do it is we're going to group these first two terms and then these last two terms. And notice I'm not grouping that sign that's in the middle. There are multiple ways of doing this. This is how I do it. If you do know a different way that works for you, excellent job. So taking a look here, I actually just realized I wrote this wrong. That should be a squared. So we have x to the third minus x squared. So grab your notebook, make sure you're copying these down. Looking at this first group here, we can take out x squared, and that's going to leave me with x minus 1. Because if I take x squared, multiply it by this, I'd get x to the third and then minus 1. Now, bring down your sign, plus, and look at the second group, and what we can take out of there is a 2. So 2, and then x minus 1, because if I do 2x times 2 times 1 would give me negative 2 here. Okay, so the next thing you have to do is ask yourself, are these two things exactly the same? And if they are, you have done this correctly. Your factors are this guy, so that's x squared plus 2 times this one that is exactly the same, x minus 1. And that's because what we're doing is we're taking this x and we're multiplying it by all this garbage here, and then we're adding 2 times all the same garbage. So that is how you factor by grouping. Now, there is a very common mistake that I see students make all the time. So I want to make sure you don't make that mistake. So let's take a look at number 2 here. For number 2, we have y equals 3x to the third minus 2x squared minus 21x plus 14. All right, so again, what we're going to do is group this first and this second, and I leave that middle sign alone. Looking at this first one, the thing that they have in common are two x's. So I can take out x squared, which leaves me with 3x minus 2. Now, bring down my sign, and these two both have a 7 in common. And if I do that, I get 7 times 3x will give me 21. Now, here's where I see the mistake. A lot of kids bring down this plus sign. I'm going to do that with a pencil so you can see. They're like, okay, plus... and then they say 7 times 2. Now, 3x plus 7, 3x plus 2, 3x minus 2, you'll see that those are not the same, and they have to be exactly the same. Here's why. Negative 7 times positive 2 would give you a negative 14. We don't need that. We need a positive 14. So if you get to this step and these and your signs are different, I guarantee you made that mistake, because a negative 7 times a negative 2 would give you a positive 14. So because these two things are exactly the same, here's our first term, and that's going to be x squared minus 7, or our first factor, I mean, and then 3x minus 2 is our second one. So that is factoring by grouping. We will see you next time.